Yeah, today concept is about elif statements in Python. Okay, so elif is nothing but if condition only, guys. So the only thing is we write if condition. After that, if you want to check multiple conditions, one by one, that time we go for the elif statement. Let me show you the syntax and how it works. You will understand what is the purpose of having elif statement in Python. In Python, we have a one more conditional statements called elif statement. Elif statement is used to check multiple conditions only when given condition is false. It's similar to a if else statement. The only difference is that else we will not check the condition, but elif will have a check to check for the condition. Elif statements are similar to if else statement, but elif statements evaluate the multiple expressions. I will show you what do you mean by this. Let me open the Python editor, Python ideally. Yesterday we have seen some examples, right? On if, elif and all. So let's say the syntax is something similar, looking like this, guys. So I am writing this string just to write the syntax. Okay, syntax. How syntax looks like. So let me show you this. If condition one colon enter 1 2 3 4 pass. For example, this is if block code. So you want to check another condition in this flow only. Elif condition 2 colon enter 1 2 3 4 pass. Like this, we can have any number of elif multiple conditions like this. You can write any number of conditions. So you can add optional else statement also. Here, if you observe it, this part we know, right? And else part also we know, right? If else. Here, whenever you want to uh, make decisions based on different conditions. If condition one satisfies, whatever code available inside if it will execute. If condition one is false, then it will go and check the condition two. If this one true, execute this elif block. If this one false, it will go to the next elif condition. If this one true, execute this elif. If this one is false, go to the default else condition. Clear on the syntax? It is similar to if else only. The only difference is it is used to check the different conditions in the same if ladder. So in this process, there is only one block of code will be executed. For example, if condition one satisfies, this block if block code will be executed, and Python control won't execute these all again. It just execute this comes out of this if elif ladder. For example, this condition one is false. That means that it will go and check the condition two. If this is true, execute this elif statements and comes out of this. It is not going to execute rest of them. When this is false, then only it will go to the next condition. Same thing happen. So that means that there is only possibility of executing only single block of code based on these conditions in the order. Okay. Let me show you this. Let me write one example, you will understand. So do not worry about this. I just added this for your reading purpose. Syntax looks like this. For example, write a program to check max numbers between three numbers. Num1 is equal to 20. Num2 is equal to 30. num3 equal to 40. We already did this example some time back. But again, in order to understand this, if we are lifting, I am writing this program again. So what solution we need to provide here? You need to write a program to check maximum number between three numbers. See num1, num2, num3. Today num1 value is 20, num2 value is 30, num3 value is 40. But these are the inputs. Inputs is not always same, right? Num1 will be 100, num1 will be 50, num3 could be 10 also. But our program should be in a position to figure out what is the maximum or highest number between these three. So how our program knows if num1 is greater than num2 and num3, obviously num1 is the highest value, right? For example, num2 is greater than num1 and num3, num2 is the highest value, right? If num3 is greater than num1 and num2, that means that num3 is the highest value. So here we need to check combination of these three conditions, right? Let me show you this. If num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3, print do not worry, this is just a print statement, okay? Just display to the out. So here this condition is only available here, writing here to check the num1 possibility, right? Num1 could be the maximum number if num1 is greater than num2 and num3. This is what we are checking, right? Num1 is greater than num2, num1 is greater than num3. If these both conditions are true, that means that num1 is the highest or max value, right? Everyone clear? So in this case, if these both conditions are true, what undo will does? Undo will return the true. If true, this block is going to be executed. So next condition, elif, let's check the possibility for the num2. If how can you say num2 is the max number, highest number between these three? If num2 is greater than num1 and num2 is greater than num3, that means that num2 is the max or highest number, right? Let's say num2 greater than num1 and num2 greater than num3. Print print num2. So here we have only three values. If this condition is true, here itself it decided num1 is the highest value between these two. If in case if this condition is false, it will go and check for the possibility of num2, right? If num2 is highest number or not. Here it will decide whether num2 is highest number. If num2 is greater than num1 and num3, obviously num2 is the highest number or max number, right? So here, once this condition true, it will execute. Otherwise, we can have a else, right? We no need to check the another condition. By default, num3 will be the max number, right? Num3. Here, I'm here. What is going to happen? I'm just going to enter here. What output I have received here? Num3 equal num3 40. That means that num3 is the max value, right? And when it compare with other values. So how Python is executing these all conditions? Let me explain you. See here, num1 is greater than num2. Num1 value is 20. Num2 value is 30. This is false, right? If false, this entire condition is going to be false because and, right? When this is false, this block is not going to be executed. So Python, when this condition, first condition is false, Python and check the elif, next elif, immediate elif condition. It will evaluate this statement actually. Python will evaluate this statement. Here num2 is greater than num1. What is num2? 30. Greater than num1. 20. This one is true. This one is true. And num2 is greater than num3. Num2 value is 30. 30 greater than num3 value is 40. This is false, right? So here we are using AND condition, logical operator AND. So when AND will return true, when these both conditions are true, then only AND will return true. So in this case, this condition is true, but this condition is failing. AND output will be the false. So if it is false, this statement is not going to be executed. Python control goes to the next elif if we have any. Otherwise, if you have else, default it will execute this. Here, if num1 is not big number, num2 also not big number. Obviously, num3 is the big number, right? Getting my point, guys?
Yeah, okay.
So, everyone understood how LF is executing here? This is condition 1, this is condition 2, this is else. So, when this condition true, it will just execute this and comes out of this if elif ladder. When this condition false, then only Python will start evaluating this condition. Like this, we can have any number of elif for multiple condition checks like this. Everybody on same page? Okay. This is how we can use elif statement in Python. So let me go to our elif syntax again. If condition, elif condition, else condition. First condition 1, condition 2, and else. When this condition true, these statements will execute and print those whatever statement we have, that those will be executed. If this condition is false, then elif statement is going to be executed. If the elif condition also false, else statement is going to be executed. That means that here we have a block 1, block 2, block 3. There is a possibility of executing only single block. How which block is going to execute totally depends on the condition output expression. Clear? Let's take example elif. Num is equal to 10. Num equal to 0. Number is 0. Num is greater than 5. Number is greater than 5. Else number is smaller than 5. In this case, this is one condition. This is another condition. This is else. So this one is called as a if elif condition statement. When this is true, this will be executed. But in this context, is this 10 equal to 0? False, right? If this is false, Python goes and check the next condition. Num greater than 5. Yes, 10 is greater than 5. True. If it is true, number is greater than 5 is going to print. That's it. This if elif block execution is completed. It won't go to else again. So there is only one print statement will execute here, not all. Which print statement is going to execute totally depends on the condition output, boolean value, true or false. This is another example. Num is equal to -7. Num is greater than 0. Number is positive. Num is less than 0. Number is negative. Else number is 0. So here this is true or false? False, right? Because -7 is not greater than 0. It's a less than. Here -7 is less than 0. Yes, true. If it is true, this print statement is going to be executed. That's it. If elif statement execution completed. Any doubts here?
No, clear.
Okay. Nested if else statement means nothing. Even nested if else statements also like if you elif only, but we write the if inside if we are going to write another if. Inside that if condition, we are going to write another if. If you are trying to write the if condition inside another if condition, that one we call it as a nested if or nested if else statement. Let me show you the syntax. Nested if else statement means that an if statement or if else statement is present inside another if or if else block. So I will show you the syntax how it look like. You will understand what I mean. If an if statement is present inside another if statement, which presents inside another if statement, and so on. That means that there is no limit at all. One if block is there, inside the if block you can write another if block. Inside the if block you can write another if block. Like this, you can go any nested level, nth level. There is no limit at all. Let me go and check the syntax, how nested syntax looks like. This is the syntax. If condition colon open statements to execute when this condition true. Inside this if block, I am writing another if block actually. So these statements belongs to this if condition. Okay, here if you observe it, this is outer if condition. When the Python control comes to this, when this condition is true, then only it will come inside this if block and execute this, evaluate this if condition. When this condition is true, then only these statements is going to execute. If this condition is false, this statement is not going to execute. Clear, guys? Same concept is going to apply, but only thing is these are available inside another if condition. Execution of this condition is totally depending on the outer condition. Clear? So somehow let me show you one example. Example of nested if else. Here num is equal to 7. If you observe it, if this is one if condition, inside this if condition, I have written the another if condition. Is this if condition available inside the if block or not? This is what nested if condition. If you are trying to write the say if condition inside another if block, this thing we call it as a nested thing, nested if condition. Okay. So Python is not directly going to check this condition. The scope of code written inside this block is totally depending on this condition. When this condition is true, then only it will go inside the if block and check the any other conditions, execute any other business logic. Num is equal to 7, num not equal to 0, num not equal to 0, and here what is going to happen? Num is 7, num not equal to 0 means it is going to return the true, right? Once it is true, Python control comes inside this if block After this, inside this if block, we have another if block. Python again check this. Num is greater than 0. Yes, 7 is greater than 0. True. If it is true, it is going to print number is greater than 0. Let me show you this, how it is executing. For example, num is equal to 7. If num not equal to 0, colon, enter. If number greater than 0, here if you observe it here, what is happening here? Here I defined one variable, num is equal to 7. Okay. Here I have written two if conditions. If you observe it, this if condition is written inside another if condition. That means that when this block of if block code is going to execute, when this condition is true, if this condition is false, the statement is not at all execute at all. Okay, it's not going to be executed at all. So in this context, what is the num value, guys? Num not equal to 0, 7 not equal to 0. Yes, it's a true. If it is true, Python control comes start executing the if block code. Inside the if we have another if. That means this print statement is printing or not totally depending on this condition, right? If num is greater than 0, 7 is greater than 0, it returns true. If true means this print statement should execute and give the output. Number is positive. Are you clear, guys? So the concept is same, but the position is different here. Inside if condition, we are writing another if condition. Inside this, still you can write any number of if conditions like this. It totally depends on your use case. So let me show you example 2. See, this is one if condition. Inside this, we have another if condition. We have written two conditions inside this. I is equal to 10. I equal to 10, it return true. When it return true, if block will be executed. Again, here we have another if condition. This print statement is depending on this condition. This print statement printing depending on this condition. I is less than 20. I is less than 20 or yes, right? I is smaller. I is less than 21. I is smaller than 21. So in this case, this condition is true. This print statement will be executed. It will come again another if condition. If this condition is true, it is going to print the another print statement. So this print statement will be executed based on this condition. These conditions will be evaluated based on this condition. If this condition is false, Python won't come inside this block itself, right? This is true, then only these conditions will be like this. Are you going to practice these all examples tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, I have given so many examples. So in order to understand this nested thing, okay? Elif ladder statement we already discussed, right? If condition, elif else condition. It's the same thing we already discussed. Okay. In order to, whenever you want to check multiple expressions, that time we go with the elif statement. Okay. In this case, there is only chance of executing single block. Which block is going to execute totally depends on the condition output, right? Whenever you write elif ladder, only one block will be executed, not all blocks. If this condition is true, this block will be executed and a block evaluation is completed. It won't go to the next condition. If this false, then only it will come here. If this false, then only it will come here. If this condition also false, it will come here. And if this condition also false, it will come here. So when will else execute? When all conditions are false. When this block will execute, when these two conditions are false, when this condition is true. When this block is going to execute, when these three conditions are false, this condition is true. Clear, guys? So which statement is going to be executed based on the condition output? So here I give my my marks is equal to 90. So here I write a simple program. My marks is less than 35. Sorry, you are failed the exam. If my marks is greater than 60 and my marks greater than 100. Oh, passed in first class. Else passed in first class with distinction. So yeah, if this condition false, then only it will go execute this. If this condition is true, it will just print this. Otherwise, it will go appropriate instead. So that's it, guys. I'm done with this examples written in the PPT. So this is how nested thing is going to execute. So let me show you another example on the nested example. Let me think about another example. Nested, right? So we need to write simple programs. Write a program to check string starts with ABC or not. Let's say name is equal to ABC 123. Some name something like this. Some alphanumeric value is there. So we want to check. We want to check name is starting with the ABC character or not. First thing is let's do if name not equal to empty string, then inside this if name dot starts with ABC. Do not worry about this function. I will tell you what it does. Print starts with ABC. Here I first I have written one if condition. I want to execute this business logic when this string has when this variable has some value, right? In this case, I'm checking with empty string. Name not equal to empty string means if when will this will return true when this contain this value. This is not equal to empty string, right? That means this is going to be evaluated as a true. Once it is true, inside this if block, whatever code written inside this if, it is going to inside this we have another if condition. This is nested if condition. Here I'm checking that this name starts with the ABCR. This starts with is a string function. This starts with return true if this name starts with this character. Otherwise, it return the false. It return the true or false. Okay. If return true, this print statement execute. If this on return false, this print statement is not going to execute. For example, here I am writing else. If you observe it, this is the nested one to this if condition. Okay. So here, let me see the output. Starts with ABC is the output I am getting. How it is getting? Here name is equal to ABC 1, 2, 3, HH. Name not equal to empty string. Yes, it's if name is empty string, it return false. But in this case, not equal only, right? This one is not equal to this one. Yes, it return the true. Once it returns the true, this if block code is going to be executed, right? So here name dot starts with ABC. Yes, this one return true when this name starts with the given characters. Yes, it is starting with ABC only. That's why print ABC. Once it is printed, Python control won't go to else. We know what if this in this if else only one block will be executed. If condition true, if block, otherwise else. But in our case, if block is executed. Once executed, it will come out of the this thing again, right? Now check our program again. So in this case, not starting with ABC. So what is happening here? This condition is true. This condition is false because it's this one is not starting with this name is not starting with these characters. That's why this one return the false. If it return false, it will go and execute the else. Else is coming. Clear, guys? So this else is not going to be executed because this else belongs to this if condition. If this condition is false, then only this else will be executed. Otherwise, if this condition is true, it is go and execute these conditions. It's not going to come and execute this. So let's write a scenario to execute this print statement also. When it is going to execute, when it is just empty string, for example. So in this case, name not equal to empty string. It's a false, right? Because this is also empty string. This is also empty string. Both are equal. Not equal, return the false. If false, it will come on to the else condition, execute the state. Let me see this. Executing. Are you able to follow this scenario?
Yes.
Everyone, any doubts here? If you have any doubts, please ask me. Do not worry about this syntax. This starts with is the string function. This return true when this particular string or name starts with ABC. Otherwise, it return false. We already seen this example. This is how we use nested conditions. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's we are done with conditional statements in Python. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about um, loops. But before going to discuss about loops, we are going to write some examples on completed uh, operators and completed if conditions, if else conditions. And this is this elif conditions. Okay, thank you. We will see
Yeah.
rest of the thing tomorrow.